Hi YouTubers, Raven here,
Starfire.
and today we're talking about Supergirl.
Yup. Season 6, episode 4, Lost Souls.
It was good.
It was good.
Yeah, we just watched it, and I'm struggling to come up with.
There was like, at one point I was thinking, I was like, why do all the people always have to be bad? Like, why couldn't Nixley have actually been somebody good who could have been a friend, who could have actually like been doing it for a good reason instead of doing it for the reason she was really doing it?
Yeah.
And I don't know. I just was like, why can't there be some good people? You know? It feels like they always have the person be bad or be evil or be a villain.
Yeah.
And that's fine, but don't go overboard. Like, I don't know.
Like, did her dad survive survive?
Did he?
I'm asking.
I don't know.
I truthfully, I don't think he did. I think he died.
Probably.
So now she's alone again.
Yeah.
She watched her father die again.
Brainy was freaking hilarious, though.
Yeah.
He's like, it's like Ghostbusters. And she's like,
he was like, it's like the whatever from Ghostbusters. And she's like, except this is real.
She's like, Ghostbusters is a movie. He's like, the perfect movie.
Yeah.
And she's like,
but this is
real.
I love how Lena just deadpanned that whole conversation. She's just like, but
a movie's a movie. This is a real device.
Right? Like, she took it she so took it to heart. She's like, don't compare my invention to the movie.
And then when he used it, he's like, it's exactly the same.
Yeah, like, that's, like, exactly, like, I was just like, that's the same, like.
And then he's like, we're gonna need a bigger gun, and I died.
Right? Like you had Nia going, it got bigger! And then, like, we're gonna need a bigger gun. It's like, oh, fuck. Like, I was eating, and I just stopped.
Jaws. I'm gonna need a bigger boat.
Yeah. And, like, I don't know, just,
like, I know that kind of stuff is lame, but, like, I think stuff.
Sometimes cheesy is good.
I think cheesy, like, movie references are so freaking funny.
Yeah.
And,
when done correctly.
Yeah, and I love them.
Yes.
I live for those kinds of moments.
Yeah. I mean, we had a back to the 90s moment, we had a con moment.
That's why
we had
puns are so funny.
Right? Like, now.
And, like, pretty much all the titles of Legends of Tomorrow are a freaking pun.
Yeah.
Like, legitimately.
And
it's great.
It is. Can't wait. Next week they come back.
Yep.
So you'll be able to catch our reviews.
It is called Ground Control to Sarah Lance. Which is a song title.
Yeah.
That they changed to Sarah Lance instead of Major Tom.
Yeah. Yeah. I just, like, anyways, I mean, basically, I looked over her, I'm like, Lena got the idea from somewhere.
She had to have gotten it from somewhere.
She had to have seen the movie and gotten the idea.
Yeah,
I mean, like, come on. It's a backpack with a gun that sucks shit into it.
Yup.
With a beam of energy light shooting from the gun.
I mean,
that moves around in space just like it did in the movies.
Obviously, this is, like, better effects because
right.
Ghostbusters came out in the 80s,
Mhm.
but it's still the same concept.
Yeah.
So, essentially.
Yes.
But yeah, like, I'm glad that Alex and Lena, like, worked together and bonded and
they had that moment.
Yeah.
Like, I'm glad that we got this. I mean, we didn't get to see it, but we also did get to see it, like, Alex working with science again.
Mm-hmm.
Because, dude, I forgot until this moment that, like, in what, season 1, maybe the beginning of season 2, we found out, like, she majored, like...
Well, because season 1 was so long ago,
right.
And it was a different show because it was on a different network.
Right. Like, I mean, it might have been in season 2 because, like...
We didn't really see as much with Alex in season 1.
No.
It was more season 2 when we really
yeah,
started
when
to see her.
It was more so in, like, towards the middle to end of season 2, I think.
Yeah.
And then, like, season 3, we got her backstory.
Mm-hmm.
But I think we found out, because Kara would talk about her sometimes, that, like, she's, like, master or PhD in science, and we never get to see her use it.
Yeah.
And so, like, I'm just like, she's more than an agent. She's more than, like, the superhero. She's a science buff. She's a nerd, and we never get to see her nerd out. And I was just like, because I don't know, like, that's an aspect to her we've never seen.
Right.
But like, it's an aspect that we were told about. But there's always this whole thing between, like, any form of media, be it books, like, shows, movies, whatever. The best avenues to show, don't tell. And, like, we were told that she's that she's all, like, sciencey. We never see it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like, there was hardly a moment, like...
What did Lena major in?
I don't know. How not to be a supervillain.
But she's definitely knows about science,
well,
too.
Yeah, I mean, she went to college, and that's where she became friends with that one...
Yeah.
With Kara's boss.
Cat, right?
No.
No, Julie. Yeah, Andrea.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry.
But, like, I'm just like, it doesn't... like, we've seen Alex maybe poke and prod at a few things, like, throughout the series, but we haven't, like, really seen her do anything major huge,
right.
Because it all, like, either fell on Quinn, or Win, or whatever the fuck, and then now it falls on Brainy, and I'm like, but she's sciencey too!
Right.
Like, she comes up with an idea, and then these fuckers go and make it. It's like,
right.
But...
and that's why it was good to be able to see that.
Yeah. I want to see her doing more of that, and I don't think we're going to get it before it ends.
Yeah.
And that hurts me, because that's a part of her character that I wanted to see.
Yeah.
Because, like, I mean, yes, it's amazing watching girls be superheroes, and, you know, like, girl power, and, like, whatever. And, like, yes, we have Lena as the girl smart one.
Right.
You know? And, like, the girlfriend.
It's true.
Like, she's a psychology major, and, like, Ben in the army, and, like, all this shit, and you're like, fuck, these girls got huge resumes. And it's like, yeah, but so does Alex. And she's also a science major. Like, I want to see her, like, Lena wants to forge a path without the Luthor name, without Luthor Corp, right? Because she left it. So, why not partner with Alex and make your own inventions and shit? Like, let her be her sciencey, like, we don't really even, like, we were probably told what field of science Alex was in, but I don't remember.
Yeah. I don't
So,
remember
like,
either.
I want to see Lena and Alex team up with science shit
Mm-hmm.
and be like this unstoppable female science team. Just like, bam, let Alex do her aspect of science and, like, let Lena be her inventor, scientific person that she is.
Yeah.
And I want to see those two, like, coincide together and become a team.
Yeah.
In that aspect, not just the superhero aspect.
Right.
Because it's not all of who they are, and that's becoming the only thing we see Alex doing. But that's not who she is.
Yeah.
That's what she does. There is a difference between who you are and what you do.
Right.
Like, I work at Wendy's. That's not who I am, that's what I do.
Yeah.
You know, like, I like to write. It doesn't make me a writer, it's what I do, not who I am. You know?
Yeah.
Like, I'm Raven. I'm me.
Right.
Like, I mean, even at that, I can say Raven is what I do, it's not who I am. You know?
No, but you have some of the qualities.
Oh, yeah. This is totally, like, me being me, but, like, what I'm saying, you know, like...
No, I know what you're saying.
Like, me, on YouTube, right now, this.
Yeah.
Is what I do.
Right.
This isn't who I am.
Right.
You know? Like, I wasn't talking about the character itself.
Yeah.
Because, yes, I agree.
Because, I mean, you know, Alex is a scientist. She's nerdy. She's loyal. She cares about her sister. Like, those are all things she is. But what she does, fighting and saving the world, that's just
what she does.
What she does. But who she is a nerd. A loyal sister.
Yeah. A best friend.
You know, a best friend. Those kinds of things.
Right.
So.
Like, I want to see more of that. You know?
Yeah.
And I know that we took away the majority of what makes her, like, of what her life revolves around besides her girlfriend. We took away Kara.
Just the writers not knowing how to write.
Right. Exactly. Thank you.
Because if they can't write a character,
that doesn't.
If they can't have a character be their own person without having to rely on somebody else, like a girlfriend or a boyfriend, then
or their sibling,
then that's not realistic, and that isn't a good way to be a role model for girls and for women. Because you're saying that the only way that your feelings are validated and the only way that you can be truly you is if somebody else is there.
Right.
And they're like the other half of you. You're already a whole individual person.
Yeah.
Just having somebody else just adds to that.
Yeah. Like,
because that's why they always say that you need to know yourself and you need to be secure in who you are before you're with somebody, because otherwise it's gonna create like all these issues and all these insecurities, and it's gonna like make things a lot more complicated. So
I mean, like, even in like, I mean, we saw who she was before Kelly, before Maggie. You know, like, we know who she is, and she knows who she is. But without Kara, she doesn't. Yeah. Kara is, like, even though the women in her life were and are both, you know, like, strongholds that she leans on when she needs to, like, Kara is her foundation. Right. Kara is fundamentally the whole aspect of who she is. And that is strictly because of the mountain of pressure her parents put her under as a child to protect her and, like, keep her secret and all the shit that she shouldn't have had to be forced on her. Right. You know, I understand why when she was younger she didn't like Kara. You know, it makes sense to be forced into, like, protecting this weird kid that came from a spaceship. Like, you know, like, this invader in your house. This, like, person that just shows up one day, oh look, you magically have a sister, now care for her as if you've known her forever, and keep all of her secrets, and, like, protect her. It's like, that's a lot to put on any kid. Preteen, teen, or younger, like, that's not really okay.
Yeah.
And, like, she was forced into that, that was her role. And so Kara became all of her,
Yeah.
So it is hard. And I think that since we're not fucking getting Kara back, at least for another 2 fucking episodes, I am sorry, but I'm done.
Yeah.
But give me some introspective into the character of Alex. Let us see who she is without Kara. She doesn't even know. Let her explore who she is without her sister, because that's important. I'm sorry, but her sister's not going to be in her relationship. Like, she needs to figure out who she is without Kara.
Exactly.
Like, what if Kara decides to, like...
There needs to be more of women being able to discover their identity and who they are without having to rely on somebody else. And there needs to be more of them being able to be happy without having to have a boyfriend or girlfriend or whatever.
Yeah. Like, I'm sorry for, like, the Superman.
And then not always having to be the badass bitches. They can have emotions. They can have feelings. They can be a real person.
Yeah.
And still do those things.
Right. But, like,
can be all of those things.
Yeah.
Like the song says, I'm a bitch, I'm a lover, I'm a child, I'm a mother, I'm a sinner, I'm a saint. Do not feel ashamed. Yeah.
Yes, I love that song.
So.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It's fine. But, like I was saying, like, in this show, Superman and Lois went to the asteroid to live with the surviving Kryptonians.
The astral projection? No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, there's someone up there on that asteroid named Scotty, and all we have to do is say, beam me up, Scotty, and we go to New Krypton.
I'm just kidding. I knew what you were talking about.
But, like, they went to New Krypton. They went to live there. So, frankly, I'm confused as how there's a fucking TV show now of them back on.
They just want to continue to keep Superman around. That's why they have TV shows.
Right. But I mean, like, because on Kara, on Supergirl, they were like, okay, we're going to go live on New Krypton and raise our child on New Krypton.
I'm anxious to see who's going to be playing young Cat Grant in the next 2 episodes.
Yes.
Because they're going back to 2009. That was the year that we graduated high school.
That makes us older than the characters. Yeah.
Well, I mean, that was 12 years ago.
I know. No. Ew.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm excited that we get time travel episodes.
Yeah, me too.
But
it sounds like the first one is more about Alex, and then the second one's more about Kara. Because of the 2 time travel episodes.
And I remember them saying, like, I remember Alex saying, yeah, no, prom night, I had a boyfriend. I had a boy take me to prom. And, like, I've always wondered why it didn't feel right,
Yeah.
That was one of the moments that is, like, a catalyst for her.
Right.
And I'm just like, but you see Kara, Alex, and some random boy
Yeah.
walking across the yard at school. I'm like, at first I was like, who the fuck is this boy? And like, why? Like, we don't know of any friends from childhood, you know?
Right.
So I'm just like, but like, I just remembered that was a thing, you know, in her past.
Yeah.
So it's like, wait a minute, is that the boy she went to prom with?
Maybe.
Is this one of the nice? Because like, is this the prom that she talks about?
Maybe.
Or is it like a future prom?
Well, you only have 2 proms.
Right. But she doesn't look like a senior.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like,
although a lot of people don't look their ages. You know. Like, I feel like people that are younger than us look older than they are. And people of our generation look younger than they are. Like, I think it's the opposite. Because there'll be somebody who's like 15 or 16 and they look like they're 20. And then like somebody like me who just turned 30 does not look 30 and looks like 22, 23.
right.
So, yeah.
Yeah. I get that all the time.
It was funny. The students were like, "You're 30?" They're like, "You look like you're 23."
Yep.
Or 22. And I'm like, how you specifically chose 23 as the age.
My work friends are like, wait, you're 30? What the fuck? I thought you were like 20, 21, maybe 22. I'm like,
or
what?
one of them was like, I thought you were like 19 and just were out of college. And I'm like, what?
The math on that shit does not compute, little kid.
I'd be like, that would mean that I would only be like 9 years older than you, and that's weird. So.
I mean, it wouldn't be too weird if you graduated college and then went back to high school.
Well, yeah, but I meant for the students.
Right. But like, if you went to college and then went back to teach high school and you were only 9 years old, that's not too weird.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, that's just like, okay.
Mm-hmm.
But like, going back to younger schools.
Like 5th or 6th grade.
Right. It's like,
what?
that means that, like, no.
Yeah. And it's just, I don't know, it's just hard to fathom that these kids were born in like 2011 or 2010. Like, to me, I can't imagine that.
Next year, the same batch, you know, the same level that you're teaching. Next year, they're gonna be born in 2012.
Right? It's just weird.
So creepy.
Like, anybody that's born in like the 2010s, it's just weird to me.
Yeah.
Because, like, I've lived so much longer than that it's just weird, you know?
Now we know how our parents feel. It's
like they don't even know about 9/11.
I mean, they do.
They do, but they weren't around when it happened.
Right.
Like, it's coming up on the 20th anniversary of 9/11 this year.
How are we that old?
Like, 20 years ago.
Oh, Lord.
2001 is 20 years ago.
We were 11, 20 years ago.
I was 10.
I was 10 too. Until December.
Yes.
But you know my point.
Right.
Yeah. No. Anyways, Supergirl. Yeah, so the whole like, going to the past thing I'm excited that, I mean, we're gonna get 2 episodes of this. That makes me happy.
Prom night and then prom again.
Night again. Yeah. So apparently they fuck up the first time.
And then Nia's like, "What's up?"
And like, did you see Kara's look in the preview? And he was like, "What's up?" She's like,
she's like, "This is 2009, not the early 2000s, okay?" Right?
She's like, as if like, the fuck? Even I know not to do that.
Yeah. I mean, we were in high school from 2005 to 2009, but like people still weren't doing that then as much. Like
I don't remember anyone really doing that in 2005.
Me either. And like I know that like faux shizzle was like a phrase that people used
in like 05, yeah.
Yeah. But
and that's because they couldn't erase it because they just got out of junior high and everybody was saying it back then.
I didn't really say that.
Nah. It was just weird. And now you have the faux shizzle my nizzle, and that's just not wrong. Like, that's just not right.
How is that not wrong on so many levels?
That's wrong on so many levels. Like, I was trying to say that's not right.
No, I know, but I was just like, how is that not wrong?
Yeah. Yeah, it was horrible. Like, come on now. Like, it's just...
Like, I don't want to do that.
No. It's like, the meaning, like, when we were in junior high, it had a totally different meaning.
Well, yeah.
And then you get older, you're like, oh, hell no.
Yeah.
Like, no.
I wasn't really up on a lot of, like, the phrases that people used back then, like, when I was in high school and middle school.
Right.
Because I was always into, like, older stuff, so, like, if I was into anything that was current, it wasn't typically that.
Right. But, yeah, so, going back to this whole Superman thing, like, they were gonna go live on New Krypton with the baby. And now, full honestly, I still haven't, like, even though I said I was going to, I still haven't watched the first episode. So I don't know if they just come back or what the hell happens because they were gone. They full on fucking left Earth and went to New Krypton, okay?
I just don't know if I'm gonna watch it at all. If I do, it will be when the season is over.
Yeah.
And I'll watch the first few episodes, and then if I am okay with seeing more, I will. But otherwise, I probably won't.
Yeah. I'll wait for Netflix. So, low battery. But yeah, like, you know, I'm just like,
yeah,
for that. But I hope that they continue, like, the character stories over there. Like, just because Supergirl is ending doesn't mean that the entire cast has to go.
Right.
You know, like...
I mean, I'm sure there'll be some crossovers and stuff like that.
Like, don't, like, destroy the...
Are they even going to be able to
phase.
do another crossover, like, next year with the shows?
Not this year.
Not this year, but next year.
I don't see why not.
But Supergirl will be over.
Yeah. So it'll be...
And Black Lightning will be over.
Right. But we have Stargirl.
Yeah.
And Superman.
And
Batwoman. They have to deal with a new Batwoman. So they're gonna have to, like, deal with the idea that Batwoman is no longer...
Yeah.
So they're gonna have to deal with that.
Yeah. Also, I liked the Nia and Bernie stuff.
Yes, that's what I was gonna... I want them to bring over, like...
He was stress eating donut. Not stress eating. He was comfort eating donuts.
No, he was stress eating. Stress eating. But, like...
I can only eat a couple donuts and then I feel like...
Yeah.
Even if I eat one, I'm just like, I probably shouldn't have done that.
I'll regret it when I look at the scale.
Well, the teacher that I work with loves donuts, so, like, people will bring donuts to school a lot, and so, like, I'll have one if there's a maple glaze left, because if there isn't, I typically don't have it, because those are my favorite.
Yeah. But I hope that, like, because we've built such an amazing cast on this show.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I'm not just talking about, like, the actors, because most of them are amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And when I say most, you guys know who I'm talking about. But they're getting better. And I do enjoy seeing them. I'm more and more, I'm beginning to enjoy them the more as they get better.
Yeah.
But it's a shame that they're not going to be able to stay on the show long enough because the show's ending that I'll grow to love them like I want to. Right. But, like, the whole Nia thing. Like, just because Supergirl is ending, I don't want to lose Nia.
Right.
I don't, like, I mean, frankly, I don't care if, like, we lose Brainy as, like, I mean, we can't full on lose Brainy because him and Nia are attached at the hip.
Right.
But, like, Brainy doesn't have to be on the show. Mm-hmm. But maybe, like, Nia gets a transfer and she has to go to Metropolis and she works at the Daily Planet now with Clark and Lois. Mm-hmm. Like, sure. But I want to see her story continue. She's in the budding beginnings of her powers.
They'll probably find some way to use her in some way, in some capacity.
Yeah. And currently, she's the only, hero that represents.
I don't think this will be the end of Nia. I think we'll see more.
Yeah. Maybe when the show ends, she announces that she's actually moving to Metropolis. Because she got a promotion, she'll be working over there with them.
As long as Brainy and Nia have a happy ending, I'm fine.
Yeah, with it. I mean, like, I don't even care if they have an ending, like a happy ending or whatever.
Them to be happy
like,
together.
if we get to see Nia in the next in Superman later on, and she becomes kind of almost like a regular, like she is now, then, like, we'll get to see glimpses of Brainy here and there. He'll probably join crossovers because Nia's there. Like, we'll still get to see their relationship, but it won't be the thing, And, like, I want to be able to see her expand her horizons with her powers without Brainy telling her how good she is in the future. I mean, like, that doesn't bother me, but it does a little bit. It's like, her future, and that's, like, cool and amazing, but she's trying to live up to the version of her that you see in her, and that's kind of hindering her. And when you're trying to teach her how to be more like herself, that's really hard on her. Like, I know it would be on me, but I don't, like, I know Brainy means the best, but I don't think he understands or comprehends that. And I don't think she understands that might be holding her back too, because she might not feel that because of her, like, love for him. Right. But if she trained more, maybe alongside Superman, just got away from the whole, like, you're so much better than this, and I know because I know the future. Like, if she gets away from that aspect of the relationship, I think she's gonna grow more in her powers and begin to understand a lot more. So. Yeah. I think that the move would be good for her. Even if Brainy does come along with her, we don't have to see him a lot. He can be a side character that pops in every once in a while, like Kelly. Right. She's hardly on it, but we know she's there for cute little moments. I'm good with that.
I mean, she does have, like, a role.
Yeah,
other
but
than
it's like
being with Alex.
Yeah, but I mean, she only had just enough of a role for us to, like, have her character fleshed out, know how she fits in with the dynamics, and then it's just like, she'll come in on friend group night, on game night, but she's off doing whatever she's doing, and we know what she does for a living, so we know she's out there being a psychiatrist. She's, she's helping people understand what's going on with them. She's out there maybe talking with her old army buddies, I mean, yes, I think they're all dead, but, like, you know what I mean. Right. She's out there dealing with this stuff, and we know that she's out there dealing with that because we know who she is. We know what she's been through. We know the people that she would be likely to hang around with. We know her even through the limited amount of time that we've been with her. Yeah. So even when she's not on screen, we have ideas of where she would be. We're never wondering where the hell is Kelly because we know where she would be. and she's always there for Alex when we need her to be there for Alex. And then, like, so it doesn't feel like she's missing, you know, because we know who she is. So I think that would be the same thing. It's like, we wouldn't know, we wouldn't keep wondering where Brainy is, because we know where Brainy is. He's over talking with Kara, helping her, like, maybe helping Lena on some project, you know, like, just because Nia's over here helping Superman wouldn't mean that Brainy's not, you know, still moving around in the universe, and we would have an idea of what he's doing, so we're not necessarily missing him.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's true. I just like any moments we get with him.
Yeah.
And I like that Lena's, like, helping them as part of all of this, and, like, I know she felt bad about it and felt like it was her fault and she had to get Kara back, but like Alex said, she really needs to forgive herself.
Yeah, they've forgiven each other. She just needs herself to forgive herself.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's easier said than done.
And
I think she took a
especially because
step.
of the trauma that she's had with her mom and with her brother and, like, just all of that stuff. It's really hard for her to, like, forgive herself for everything because she blames herself.
Right.
And so being able to just kind of let go of that and be free is, like, not easy for her.
Right. And I think, like, she took a step in this episode, but by far she is not done walking through that hurdle. No. And I wish we would get to see her.
It was a small step, but it was a step.
Yeah. And I'm glad that we got to see that step, because even if it wasn't stated, we all know that she's going through that. Like, we know that even if they've forgiven each other, like, you can look at her and know that, we knew for the past couple weeks, even though she's doing everything to help the team, we know it's because she's blaming herself.
Right.
Like, you can see it on her face. So she's got, like, a lot of self-hatred she has to deal with, and I'm glad that they stated that in this episode, and that she's starting to deal with it, because she's starting to realize that, yeah, no, everyone that I care about has forgiven me. They don't care what I did in my past, as long as I work towards a better future. And so now she has to get that way with herself. She has to, like, not that they don't care what she did, you know, like, but, like, and not that she will never, that she'll care, that she will reach a point where she doesn't care about what she did. Like, they'll always have, you know, like, emotions about what happened, but, like, you don't forgive and forget. You forgive and let go, you know, and, sometimes you forget, and that's awesome. But you know, like, big things like this, you can't forget. So she has to let go.
Yeah.
You know, like she was talking to Brainy last week, and now she needs to take that and apply it to herself.
I just like the friendship that Brainy and Mia are having. Like, their moments are really great that they've been having in the last few episodes.
I loved the moment between Lena and Brainy.
Yeah, Lena and Brainy.
You said...
Oh, Nia, sorry. I meant Lena.
Okay. Yeah. Like, the look he gave her when he got into the elevator, like, she's just like...
He's like, what did he say? Like, 12, like a...
I'm a 12th level intellect.
Yeah, he's like, I think I can figure it out.
Yeah. Like, the look, she was just like... and he's like... you know, like, leaning against the wall or some shit.
Yeah.
He's just like...
No, like,
yeah, I got this.
Legit like their friendship.
Right. I love their friendship so much. Like... Yes, it was born out of a need of revenge. But it's grown to so much more, and I love it. It's adorable. Yeah. Especially since they're both dealing with, like, figuring out how to, like, forgive themselves and let their emotions out. So, they're both dealing with similar emotions, and so having each other to lean on is pretty cool. I don't understand why Nixley has to be evil, not because of, like, everything that you said at the beginning, but, like, I do understand that the fifth dimension, or whatever they call it fifth dimension, right? Anyways, like,
she said the fifth dimension.
Okay, like, it's just, like, yes, I understand that they're all kind of tricksters and, like, not evil but not good. You know, like, they're more, like, selfish creatures, you know? But Mixie, right? He kind of became a friend to Kara, you know, like, eventually.
Yeah.
You know, he kind of started to care. And, like, I don't know why we can't just find another one of them that isn't inherently, at the first, a bitch. Like,
that's what I mean.
We need to find, like, I want to find one of the fifth dimensional characters that is just nice and wholehearted from the beginning, because it's so against the core of who they are.
It's like not everyone that's part of that dimension is gonna be evil.
Yeah.
So give us somebody that's not.
No, that's basically what it is. Like, I mean, they're not evil. Like, none of them are inherently evil.
Yeah.
Mixie was not inherently evil when he first showed up. He's a trickster. He likes to play tricks and pull pranks on everyone. That's what they are, right? But basically, all they do is cause trouble for everyone. You know? But he's grown to care. And what I want to do is find one of them that doesn't inherently like to pull tricks. I want to find the one needle in that huge, massive haystack that is the entire fifth dimension.
Yeah.
Of that one person that doesn't fit in, because they are entirely not like any of the others.
Right.
You know? I want to find that one. So.
Yeah.
Do you have anything?
I don't think so.
Okay. So.
We pretty much covered everything.
Yes.
Hopefully Kara gets out within the next few episodes.
The two that can help figure it out the best are both stuck in the past.
Yeah.
So we're probably not going to get her out for another, 3 weeks?
Hopefully she'll be out before they go on their little hiatus.
Yeah. So.
Or switch the night or whatever it is they're going to do. When Superman and Lois comes back. Because Black Lightning is going to end in like 5 more episodes, so.
So that's like.
It'll probably take like a week or 2 break. And then come back and be in Black Lightning's spot.
Yeah, if they move it to a different night.
Well, they can't move it to Sunday.
Right.
Because Batwoman and Legends are going to be on. And I don't know when Charmed is on now.
I don't know either.
And so Sunday's full. They'll have an opening for Monday, so Monday would be the logical night to move it to. Because Tuesday is Flash and Superman and Lois. Wednesday's like Riverdale and Nancy Drew. And All American or whatever. And Thursday's Walker and all that. So the only night that they could really move it to, if they're keeping the superhero shows Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, is Monday.
So yeah, that's what we predict for the future of the show and stuff. So I suppose
until next time, love yourself and be happy.